Welcome to 2014, where everyone from toddlers to elderly people are connecting and interacting online using a mixture of technologies and medias. Although everyone knows what the internet is and uses it, most are wandering around unaware of the rules and norms that are required of them to be successful digital citizens. Today, the internet boasts a population of over 2.8 billion people, and a recent report released by Comscore Inc. states that the average Canadian spends about 45 hours a month browsing online. In the past, people viewed the internet as a virtual place that was separate from the real world and free of law and order. But due to the rapid growth and popularity, it became imperative for principles to be developed and implemented, showing users the proper way to operate online. Thankfully today, children in many schools are being taught the online norms and regulations. Hi, my name is Connie, and this webinar has been developed to assist adults, otherwise known as digital immigrants, with familiarizing themselves with the concept of virtual residency and being aware of the rights that are extended to them as digital citizens. The topic of digital citizenship is not a complex one. Personally, I feel that once the model has been presented, people will quickly adapt to the concept because the idea and practice of digital citizenship reflects real-world principles. So let's get started. Topic 1. What is digital citizenship? Maybe you have no idea what digital citizenship means, or maybe you have heard the term before but just don't know how it works. Well, I'm going to give you some definitions and examples so that you can have a clear and concise understanding and be up to speed. Topic 2. What are the 9 elements of digital citizenship? I'm going to explain to you the 9 elements in plain language using everyday examples to give you a great frame of reference. Topic 3. Why is knowing about digital citizenship important? Just like anything in life that you participate in, knowing the rules of digital citizenship is important and becoming more important due to the fact that it can affect your personal and professional life. And finally, our 4th and final topic, how to become an enlightened digital citizen. Finally, I will give you some general tips on how to become a conscious digital citizen and how job seekers can use this new knowledge to increase their chances of landing employment. My goal is to give you a solid foundation that will allow you to use the internet to its unlimited potential with respect and safety. Before we get started talking about the 9 elements, I just want to take a moment and give you a description of what digital citizenship means. So it's a tool to help people understand how to use technology in an appropriate way. In this new, dynamic, connected world we live in, we require a new set of comprehension and communication skills, as well as a new code of conduct. Digital citizenship is a system put in place to ensure that these powerful medias and technologies are used responsibly and ethically. So simply put, it's norms of behaviors in regard to technological use. The first element we're going to talk about is digital access. Now, digital access is referencing to the idea that all people should have the same convenience and ability to use technology. Although this element in theory is great, the reality is that not every person has the same accessibility to technology. For instance, in Toronto, Wireless Toronto, a not-for-profit community group, has dedicated itself to bringing no-fee wireless internet access to public and publicly accessible spaces in the GTA. Add their 17-plus locations to the hundreds of other businesses that are supplying free Wi-Fi in the GTA, and you will be safe to say that a person in Toronto need only have a computer, a smartphone, or a tablet to access internet Wi-Fi in most places in the city. This is a stark contrast to someone living in, let's say, St. Anne's, Jamaica, where accessibility to home service is limited and few places offer free Wi-Fi. This is the digital divide that makes communication hard for a society increasingly using these tools. Helping to provide and expand access to technology is one of the main goals of digital citizenship. As a job seeker, it is important that you have access to technology. For example, today's jobs are mostly posted online, in groups and on job banks. In contrast to 20 years ago, when all jobs were advertised in the newspaper or by word of mouth or in their shop windows. Today's job seekers also need technology to create resumes, enhance skills, network, and send and receive messages and phone calls. Digital etiquette, or netiquette as some people refer to it. Now, we all know the appropriate way to conduct ourselves in the real world. I hope we do. But few people acknowledge that the same standards of conduct apply virtually. Now, in saying this, I want to state that it is not the fault of anyone in particular. We were all shocked and caught off guard by the growth of the internet. One day there was no internet, and overnight it was everywhere and everyone was using it. And none of us were giving any instructions or guidelines on how to operate this amazing technology. This lack of direction and order led many people to feel that they could use technology in any way they wanted, free of consequences and repercussions. The element of digital etiquette is meant to inform users on the socially acceptable best practices online. As a job seeker, it is extremely important to practice good digital etiquette, knowing how and when to use technology, how to send a proper email, or how to choose a proper screen name to interact in business. Now, the rule of thumb is to conduct yourself as though you would in person, exercising respect and courtesy. Now, and more increasingly in the near future, our digital footprint or online persona will be how others, including employers, will judge us more than conventional resumes and personal references. Digital law. Digital law is the rights and responsibilities that govern technological use. This to me is the easiest element to understand. Simply put, you must follow real-world laws. The new problems that have arisen is that these crimes can only be perpetrated via online channels. Some examples would be downloading music or movies that you have not paid for, hacking into someone's computer and stealing their personal information, or creating a worm that could destroy someone's computer. These are all excellent illustrations of new world crimes. Authorities are finding that the internet has developed a new type of criminal, and they are calling them cyber criminals. These are people who only commit crimes online. Now, the scariest part of these criminals is that they can be around the corner from you or across the world. We will find that in the not-so-far future, cyber laws will be international, and countries will join together to write new laws to incorporate the internet. As a job seeker, it is extremely important for you to understand and operate within the legal parameters of the real world and now of the virtual world. Failing to do so could lead you becoming unemployable and destroy your digital dossier, not only nationally, but internationally. Digital security, or digital safety. As digital citizens, we need to be aware of the threats that living in a digital world could bring. Things like having virus protection, backing up your data, or making sure your equipment is protected against power surges are important for the safety of your devices. But there's another side that we must look at to be considered a responsible citizen. We must also protect our personal information from outside forces by having firewalls and passwords to safeguard your privacy from predators. Digital security is the idea of being proactive against possible threats by taking precautions to notice them before they can ruin your life. As a job seeker, you need to be extremely aware of the consequences that can arise if you do not protect your technological devices. People could assume your identity and ruin your name and digital footprint, making you virtually unemployable. And once something is posted online or your identity has been stolen, it is a lot of work to clear that up. Digital health and wellness. This element focuses on the well-being of the user. With the growth of people using the internet, we are noticing an increase in online-related ailments, both physical and psychological. Things like social anxieties, repetitive stress disorder, sleeping problems, vision and hearing problems, bad posture, and internet addiction are some of the dilemmas that we need to address in the new technological world. All users need to be made aware of the inherent dangers in operating technology. Digital citizenship incorporates a culture in where all users are taught how to protect themselves through education and training. I believe that in the future, there will be more emphasis put on this particular element due to the fact that people need to be more aware of this new and very serious epidemic. As a job seeker, you should be aware that there are health and wellness issues attached to technology so that you can maintain a healthy balance and have employment longevity in this technologically driven labor market. Digital rights and responsibilities are basically the same in the real world as they are in the virtual world. Users have the right to use any and all technologies while maintaining an accountable, respectable manner. Digital citizenship extends us the right to privacy, free speech, and self-expression. As citizens, we must accept that these rights must first be recognized, addressed, discussed, and understood within the concept of a digital world. Users must understand that with these rights also come responsibilities as well. All users have a personal accountability to how they use technology in their relationships, activities, and personal goals. This has become more and more of a problem because most people are operating personal devices on personal networks, which leads some to believe that they do not have to answer to any one person and that their activities online are anonymous and without consequences. As a job seeker, it is imperative that you be mindful of what you put out online because the internet has a long memory, and once something is published, you no longer have control over how it's used or interpreted. A mismanaged online reputation can cost you future employment opportunities. So being aware of your rights and responsibility is paramount to your success in any society, virtual or otherwise. Digital commerce, buying and selling things virtually. It's also referred to as e-commerce. So think about things like booking a hotel room, purchasing airline tickets, selling an old car, paying any bill, transferring money to someone, or ordering books. These are all things that now can be done online, and the process is referred to as digital commerce. Originally, digital commerce was thought to be buying and selling alone, but now it encompasses the entire process: developing, marketing, servicing, selling, and paying. As a job seeker, potential employers are looking for the individual with the best skill set, and being able to navigate the internet is a requirement. But acquiring skills beyond that is extremely beneficial. Your ability to keep up with mainstream technology, software, and hardware, will help you remain competitive in the job market and give you an edge over other candidates. Digital literacy, learning about technology and the use of technology. Although most of us use technology, being digitally literate is much more than just using Facebook or sending a text message. Digital literacy is the right of the user to have knowledge and the ability to use technology in whichever way they need to, personally, academically, or professionally. Being digitally literate involves having a working awareness of the current technologies and an understanding of how they can be used. The fact is that digitally literate people can communicate and work more efficiently, especially with those who possess the same knowledge and skills. Other aspects of digital literacy that should be noted are skills such as learning how to effectively find, use, summarize, evaluate, create, and communicate information by using digital technologies. This element of digital citizenship is particularly important to job seekers. We all know that. Knowing how to use technology will make you a definite asset to an employer. But the truth is, not only will it help you when you find the job, but digital literacy can enable you to build skills while you're unemployed to increase your employability. Digital communication, electronic exchange of information, email, instant messages, video conferencing, and cell phones are some of the ways in which we digitally communicate. And with these expanding options, everything has changed due to the fact that people are now able to keep in constant communication via these limitless avenues. Now that everyone has the opportunity to communicate and collaborate with anyone from anywhere at any time, users need to know how to make appropriate decisions when faced with so many different digital communication options. A recent study suggests that half of written communication is by email, 29% is by text message, and just 13% is by pen and paper. Stats Canada report that 78% of Canadian households have cell phones. Larger companies are now using video conferencing to get information through to all workers and to stay in contact with local business overseas and thousands of miles away. Job seekers must know the proper way to communicate virtually as well as in person. It is becoming increasingly important for individuals to be equipped with the knowledge to use technology and exercise proper online etiquette. Why is it so important to know about digital citizenship? Well, for one, it empowers individuals to learn with others and to take advantage of the wealth of powerful web resources and new technology. It adds a sense of accountability and ownership to all people, letting them know that they are not anonymous. It makes people aware of the opportunities and potential that now exists online. And finally, it encourages and reinforces important ethical traits like respect, kindness, compassion, and virtue. When we think about digital citizenship, we can view it as the glue that is meant to maintain balance and order in a cyber world. The internet is often referred to as a virtual community, and just like a real community, we need rules and guidelines that citizens must adhere to and respect. All individuals using the internet must realize that we must have balance of members' rights and responsibilities in order to create and sustain a viable community. Digital citizenship is about promoting balance online. So why is digital citizenship important to job seekers? In the future, our digital self will be how people will draw conclusions about us. Employers are increasingly using technology to source, vet, and hire new talent. 30% of all Google searches, which equals out to be about 300 million per month, are employment related. Being able to use technology will no longer be an option, but a requirement for 90% of occupations. Individuals can learn new skills via online channels and build their portfolio and increase their employability. And most importantly, digital citizenship is important to job seekers because they need to protect their digital footprint. You see, 70% of recruiters are required to do online searches on possible candidates, and a lack of knowledge of virtual rules could severely damage their digital footprint. Employees are looking for people who are aware of the acceptable behaviors online and work within them. Ten tips to good digital citizenship. The golden rule. Are you treating others the way that you would want to be treated? Using this thinking, would you like it, is a perfect place to start. Would you want that photo of you uploaded? Would you want that said about you? The golden rule 2.0. Are you treating others the way that they would want to be treated? Is it possible that what you're doing might be interpreted as cyberbullying? Are you sharing someone's personal information? Would they be comfortable with what you're doing? How are you affecting their online reputation? The fact that people differ so widely can lead to reactions that you do not anticipate. The laws and policy test. Does what you're doing violate a law? Would you be comfortable doing this in front of a police officer, your boss, your mother, or a school administrator? It is a good practice to ask yourself this question when using technology. Number 4, the everyone test. If everyone was doing the same thing that you were, it may seem as though you're doing just a little bit of harm. But it's hard to know whether other people are doing the same thing. Together, you might be doing a lot of harm, and the consequences might be more drastic than you could even have expected. Number 5, the offline test. Is there a real-world equivalent to what you're doing? Are you willing to do that activity in the real world? Would you be willing to make the same comment to somebody else in their face? Number 6, the real name test. This test applies only to behavior that you would engage in anonymously. Would you change your behavior if you knew that your real name was associated with it? Would you still do it? Would you say things differently, perhaps with more thoughtfulness? Number 7, the emotional test. Are you doing something to someone because you're emotionally charged? Will the recipient of your actions become, or likely become, highly emotional as a result of your actions? Number 8, the whole world test. Would you be comfortable with the whole world knowing what you are doing? Your family, your friends, professors, or professional contacts? Would you like your story to be on the cover of the Toronto Sun? Are you okay with that? Number 9, the get it test. Is what you're saying hard to convey online? Is what you're saying likely to be misinterpreted? Do you have certain contexts that others are not reading into? If they were misinterpreted, would they be hurtful? Number 10, how does what you're doing reflect on you as a person? How does what you say about you? Consider how and what you're doing reflects on your person. What does it say about you? Do you like what it's saying about you? Is the action in line with your personal values? Does it reinforce the notion of the person that you want to be? Five essential facts for digital life. Number 1, we are all digital creators. Number 2, it's a big world out there. Number 3, the internet has a long memory. Number 4, nothing is your own. Number 5, actions and reactions. It's all about participating, communicating, making music, images, and videos, and posting written content. But we all must be aware of our online dossier and be mindful of what we are putting out into the universe. The World Wide Web is exactly that, worldwide. And everything that you post happens in front of an unknown, invisible audience. And this audience has a long, unforgiving memory. Each person has to realize that everything that they post online contributes to their digital footprint. Some people think that the internet is separate from laws and actions, believing that they can get away with unethical and unacceptable behavior because they do not see the immediate consequences. Being able to have foresight And to act properly on the internet will make you not only a proper and good digital citizen, will make you successful in your job seeking. So let's run through the 9 elements one more time. Digital access, digital commerce, digital communication, digital literacy, digital etiquette, digital law, digital rights and responsibilities, digital health and wellness, and digital security. Now I've grouped them into 3 different separate categories to make them easier for you to remember. So let's start with the first one. Respect yourself and respect others. Educate yourself, connect with others. Protect yourself and protect others. Although there's 9 elements, and that's a very hard concept, and no one expects you to remember all 9 elements. If you remember respect, educate, and protect, you will be doing fine and be ahead of the pack on knowing about digital citizenship and conducting yourself right online. Some would say that we do not need to teach digital citizenship because the same type of rules exist in our day-to-day lives. But unlike our actual lives, there is no intimate contact with people, which often leads to a disconnect with the moral compasses. As technology is constantly changing, we too, as a society, need to evolve and have ideas of the issues and work towards solving them. This is the core goal for digital citizenship, to provide this framework. In conclusion, remember, there is no longer a difference between the real world and the digital world. We all must be aware that we are no longer citizens of our schools, our workplaces, and our countries, but global citizens with responsibilities on a larger scale than just where we come from and what we see in our day-to-day lives. Again, my name is C.Piggott, and if you have any questions, feel free to contact me at cpigottinc@gmail.com. Thank you for watching, and I hope that you will find this information useful to you on your road to employment. Have a great day.